Hi designers, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be looking into this pointy sleeve tutorial. Without further ado, let's dive into it. So you'll be needing your basic sleeve pattern. You need your center front bodies and center back as well. So those are the basic pattern required for this tutorial. So you need an extra paper. Place a sleeve pattern on the extra paper and secure with a tape. Measure 2 inches from the middle point of the sleeve and square both ways. Then extend from the middle of that 2 inches upward like so. Indicate the back part and the front part of the sleeve if you haven't done so. Now measure 7 inches upward starting from the 2 inches measured inside the sleeve. Note that this will determine the height of your sleeve, how pointy you want it. Okay, the least you can do is 5 inches. You can go as high as desired. Now connect from the point where you have your 7 inches to the front and to the back respectively, then cut out from that point. Now measure from the underarm point of your sleeve to where you have the point B and write down what you have. And you do the same for the front as well. Okay, as you can see, what we have for the front is like 0.5 inches higher than what we have at the back. So for the back we have 5 inches and the front we have 5.5. The same 5 inches measurement you got on the sleeve pattern, measure it on the back bodies of your sleeve like so, and connect it to your neck point, that is to the neck point of the pattern, and place on another paper. Get the midpoint of this new connection and mark, then connect straight at an angle like so. Then come back here and measure 7 inches on this new line you just squared up and connect like so. Having done that, you're going to bring in your sleeve pattern. You're going to measure what you have done. You're going to measure as I am doing. Okay, you make sure the shape, you place it on top of the back pattern and mark in case you have any excesses or shortage. All right, so for me here I have shortage. That means the sleeve, the back pattern, back bodies is looking a bit shorter than the sleeve, so I need to make a little adjustment there. So now I'm remeasuring what I have. You have to measure and measure again. So what I have there is about 7 3/4, which I've confirmed. Now I'm going to adjust the shape of the pointy sleeve accordingly. So whatsoever we have done here, we are going to repeat the exact same process for the front pattern. So I'm not going to boss with that stress. So I'm done with the front manipulation, and then I'm going to be cutting out all the extra paper because we don't need it. Okay, so I'll just do that and show us what we have now. So this is what we have after cutting. So you should also have your back pattern, your front pattern and your sleeve pattern all altered to what you want. So now you're going to match it together like so to ensure that you don't have any shortage or excess, so you don't have issue where you're sewing. So now I've gone ahead to match the neck point of both front and back together to see if I'm going to be having excess at the tip of the shoulder, which I am having. So I'm trimming out all excesses. Any unwanted excess has to be taken out like I'm doing. It's okay if you have excess. It's even fine you detect it on your pattern rather than when you have started with the sewing. It's going to stress you and you don't want that. So having done that, we are going to go straight into cutting of the fabric. But before I cut on my fabric, I would like to adjust the neckline. So this is the center front. I'm coming down by 1 inch. Just adjust your neckline as desired, but whatever you do, ensure you don't alter the pointy shoulder. Okay, so when you're shaping it, you can't shift your neck point. The neck point, you cannot shift it. So whatever connection you are doing, it has to come back to the basic neck point, so you don't have a gap on the around your neckline area by the time you are done sewing. All right, so I'll just do that now. So I'm going to adjust the back neckline as well, just a little. But this adjustment of the back is optional, is as desired. Okay, for instance, if you are doing a jacket, you know you are not going to be coming down as I am doing at the back. Having done with all the adjustments and alterations, we are going to go right ahead into cutting. So ensure you add all your necessary sewing allowance on your cutting table when you're cutting on the fabric. Ensure you add all your sewing allowance. For instance, your neckline is 1/2 inch, your armhole 1/2 inch, side, back and side front, any allowance you add for your sewing. So here is it after I'm done cutting. Okay, so we're going to go right ahead into sewing. But before we sew, it's important you match up all this shoulder seam on the table before you sew. So now I'm taking off my pins so I can match up the shoulder seam. But before sewing, you are going to be needing an interfacing. Okay, interfacing, a strong interfacing, so our shoulder can be pointy as desired. Okay, so here I'm just showing you how to match it up. But before sewing, you're going to be needing interfacing. facing. So for this particular class, I'll be using a soft wording. You can use an este other fusible interfacing, but este wording we do what we want. So I've gone ahead to add the wording as earlier mentioned. I've gone ahead to add my wording. So now I can go right ahead and join the shoulder seam together. So I'll do that now. I'll be back. So I haven't joined the shoulder seam together like so. You're going to open press your seam. Okay, so after you have done that, so now we are going to look for best possible way to insert this sleeve so we don't struggle. So I thought of turning my sleeve this way. All right, so the pointed part, I'm going to be pinning that spot first. All right, so pin that spot first, and then you align the one that is going to the front and to the back. Now if you notice, you will see that the sleeve is a bit excess, so I'm just going to ease it, and that is correct. It's okay for your sleeve to be a little excess. Your sleeve is not meant to be, it's not compulsory that is equal to the size of your armhole. It's good you always have ease. So I'm going to ease that, not a split. I'm just going to sew it. There's a way you sew your sleeve to your bodice that you ease the excess on the sleeve. Okay, now the sleeve has been joined. Reduce the sewing allowance and then you turn it inside out. Okay, so I'm going to try as much as possible to get the pointed shape out so I don't lose anything. So here is me trying to push it out. So after much trying, this is what we have at the end of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and sew join the sleeve, the side part of the sleeve. So you're going to open up the seam allowance on the underarm seam like so. Pin it together so your joining can be even by the time you are done joining. So you pin it down and sew the seam allowance on the arm area. So you continue your pinning on the bodies, okay, because we have not joined any of the sides, both the side of the sleeve and the side of the bodies. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm done doing that. I'm going to trim any thread, any dangling thread. Okay, I'll trim it, then I'll turn it inside out. So here is the sleeve. So right now I'm just checking for my seams if everything is aligned, everything is in place. So now everything is okay. I'm going to go ahead and sew the hem. So this hem I'm not going to use seam, so I'm going to measure the hem allowance added. I added 2 inches, so I'm going to fold that inside and I will use hemming gum at the end of the day. Either I make whatever I choose to use at the end of the day, however you like to finish the hem of your sleeve, kindly go ahead and do so. So right now I'm going to give it a good press. And guys, isn't this sleeve looking beautiful? Alright, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do well and do so. Thank you and see you in my next one.